security or collateral that I will hold in order to do business with you. You break open your house one time, they rape your mother, they rape your father, they rape your brother, they rape your sister, they rape your auntie, they rape your auntie, they rob you of all your jewels, they take your car if you have a license firearm, they take your firearm and they go on with that. And those that are supposed to vote for this bill, for the next year, you all are pleased and it's okay with that. What are they smoking? You cannot come and tell Saieed, well, hear this now. Saieed, mass mandatory, here we go. It come to an end. And then you come and tell me, here we go on Saieed. If you go to the supermarket, the grocery, or the malls, you have to wear your mask. Saieed, if you go to a pharmacy, you have to wear your mask. Saieed, if you're traveling, you have to wear your mask. If you're in the transportation hub, you have to wear your mask. If you're going to church side, you have to wear your mask. If you're in the school side, you're wearing your mask. If you go to a barber salon, you go to the theater, you're wearing your mask. Which dum-dum in Trinidad and Tobago will go in a theater and buy a popcorn and a juice and sit down and wear a mask? Dance! If every councillor go through their constituency, do video clips like this and send it for us, I'm gonna be so happy just to play it on our program on a Wednesday night. You know why I would be happy? I will be filled with joy in my heart. You know why? Because the councillor is getting off their butts and they are actually going and doing some live video shoots. Real Talk took the initiative to find out suppliers of wheat in the world that National Flour Mill could go to. So now Romano is saying the company is not going to raise any price in the near future. Why? Why? Is it because the S-boss and they realize now that, hey, it is in the public domain that we could go right Mexico and buy flour and wheat? We could go right China and buy wheat? I am about change. And thus far, Real Talk is very effective in Trinidad and Tobago, coming towards making changes for the citizens. Public Utility Minister Marvin Gonzalez have urged the population to appreciate and be grateful for the availability of the utilities. This, as Gonzalez recalled, time in his life when he had to fetch water using a bucket from a nearby river. Gonzalez, I want you to understand something. I want you, Mr. Gonzalez, to understand something. You are being paid thousands of dollars by public utility, by the finance ministry, to govern WASA. Come on. To govern WASA, I want you to understand that you ain't going in no office for no free code. You are being paid. Do not tell me that I, Saieed, have to be grateful for the water I get it. Let me tell you something, Gonzalez. Every 4 months, I have to pay $400 and I get water once a bloody month. So don't come on a media briefing and say, Saieed, you have to be contented. You have to be happy. Marvin, the next best thing for you to do is to resign and get the hell out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host, Saieed. We do want to thank you for joining us tonight, Tuesday, the 28th of February. It's the last day in February, but nevertheless, in 2023, no, I do apologize for the dress code, but nevertheless, today it has been a busy day for me. I didn't even get time to change. But nevertheless, viewers, nevertheless, you know, always well dressed on television. Well dressed. Remember, I am Saieed Ali. You are viewing Real Talk with Saieed Ali. We are presently the #1 current affairs program in Trinidad and Tobago. So remember, we are also on Facebook, Real Talk with Saieed Ali. Like and share us on Facebook. Leave your comments on the video. Also, we are on YouTube. It's TT Real Talk. Subscribe, hit the bell, viewers, and you will know when we go live. Now, the reason why we go live on Facebook is for you to share our Facebook page. Let your friends locally and regional know about Real Talk with Saieed Ali. And YouTube, TT Real Talk, subscribe, hit the bell, and you will know when we go live. That's it for that. Now, those of you who are looking to open an account in our credit union, we have Real Talk Credit Union information. Remember, we open an account for kids also. So if you have your, you have savings, and you go to the commercial bank and they decide, you know what, we can't open this account for your kids, not a problem. Contact probably numbers there. Contact Real Talk Credit Union information. You could contact Saieed. Numbers will be on screen shortly, viewers. Call us to set up an account for your family, your grandmother, your grandfather, your sister, your brother, the mother. Numbers are on screen, viewers. You could contact those numbers. And if you're looking for money borrow, or also looking for cash borrow, is not a problem. Call any one of these numbers on screen and just ask for Saieed. Remember, I am the Managing Director of Real Talk Group of Company. I'm also the President of Real Talk Credit Union Information. I am also a Director on Real Talk Real Estate, Real Talk Equipment Rental, Real Talk Security and Intelligence Unit. I am the host of Real Talk with Saieed Ali. Goes live on Synergy Television Monday to Friday from 7 to 8 p.m. with a rerun the next day from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. So viewers, we are the #1 current affairs program. There's no program in Trinidad and Tobago to beat back us. You know why? We deal with the issues that are affecting you, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. And also viewers, whenever I see there's a legislation or an amendment that needs to push for the benefit of you, the citizens of our country, our 2x2 country, which crime is so overwhelming. Imagine that. 7,000 police officers, thousands of army officials, and yet crime is escalating in our country like if we're selling something in the market. You know, around Christmas time, apple and grapes sells like hot bread. Well, crime is in Trinidad and Tobago like if we're selling apple and grapes. It's like hot bread in our country. How the hell did crime reach so high? Oh, I forgot. We didn't have a commissioner of police. The former acting commissioner of police did nothing. Now we have a commissioner of police who have no idea of how to fight crime. How the hell are we going to control crime in Trinidad and Tobago when the head didn't even know how the foot running? The head don't even know how the body functioning. So how the hell are we going to fix crime in Trinidad and Tobago? By what? By guess? By opening up a tap and say, you know what, let the water run and crime go fix. No, we need somebody in TTPS to guide the officers and them on how to actually do police work. Gary Griffin was a man who used to show officers, hey, I'm a policeman, this is my job, your job, I'm the commander, go and raid that block. What's the keep back? We have police station in Trinidad and Tobago where we have marijuana, cocaine and drugs, guns, everything not far from the station. Who are you going to blame for that side? You can't blame Saieed for that. Go to the head of the police. Go to the head of the police. We're not safe in our own damn house. You know how I get so violent? Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something in Trinidad and Tobago. I was a nice, quiet, humble Muslim obeying all my laws. Obeying all my laws. Until they decided to go after my son. I given charity in a big way. Giving part of what God gave to me, I giving it back in cash, in groceries. And you gonna tell me, some careless donkey bandit want to make an attempt to kidnap my son? No, it tripped me. And then again, now on top of that, I'm doing spirit work. I lighted my light, you know. I don't care who you is, I lighted my light. If you fall in the garden, take it. Deal with it. That is what got me so violent. Come at me, I will teach you a lesson. And in Trinidad and Tobago, we have homeowners. They actually have to teach bandits a lesson. But then again, the laws are upside down. If you as a homeowner kill a bandit in your house, the magistrate charging you for killing the man. But if a bandit going to a magistrate house, why the magistrate don't ask the bandit why he doing there? Let them rape the wife, let them rape the daughter, let them rob them their vehicle, let them take all their jewel, and give them a free open. You have a remote gate, a bandit go open the gate, and you just drive out now. You think that happened to them? No, they might die and you even find the body. I always tell people, jump my fence. That's the last thing you walking back out, you know. I'm telling you. Because if the dogs I deal with you, I deal with you. I deal with you and I'm freezing you too. Next day I get a power saw, or a hand saw, how you call them saw again? Them circle saw. And I cut you up in parts. Jump my fence and you're going to see something. But then again, the public won't know when somebody jump my fence. I'm a spiritual man, you know. I am a very secretive man, you know. Very, very secretive. So, as we started off our program tonight, those of you who like to hunt. But for the last year and this year, I didn't do no hunting, you know. I was so busy. The hunting season 2022-2023 is over. As the season officially comes to a close today, February 28, 2023. From today, no one is allowed to engage in hunting activities of game animals. Hunting during close season incurs a fine of $100,000. According to the Ministry of Agriculture, those with hunting permits must fill out and return the data returned by form by the 31st of May. So those who have hunting permits, you have until the 31st of May to fill out your data and carry it in, I believe it's to the game warden office, I believe. Yeah. Anyone in possession of animal must dispose of them by the 31st of March. The hunting season usually runs from October until the end of February. So we are at the end of February. But nevertheless, we'll call on line. Call her good night.
Good night, Mr. Saieed.
Go right ahead, you're live there.
I would like to find out when Rowley going to pass a law to chop out these people who going on thieving every single thing you could think about and then go after the parents, Mr. Saieed.
You know in Dubai have that law?
You know, Mr. Saieed, look how these people went on thieving all the people's gas tank.
Yes.
They thieving everything inside, beating poor people. Mr. Saieed, when Rowley going to pass a law for that? And pass a law that they must hold their parents and throw them in jail? Just now you can blame Kamala for the COVID. You see they say COVID come up again? Watch when you go see. Just now they go say Kamala make the COVID cheap and carnival.
Thank you. Thank you, my dear. Moving along, viewers. As she prepares to leave office, in the next few weeks, President Paula May Weeks has said it was a privilege to serve Trinidad and Tobago. My guess is, how did you serve Trinidad and Tobago? She expressed sadness. You're sad? As she scouting movement paid tribute to her for having served as their chief scout during her tenure. But you didn't have to be a president to be as a scout leader. Jeez, man, oh gosh. Weeks stated that becoming president of Trinidad and Tobago was a great honor. I myself will be honored. President-elect Christine Kangaloo will succeed Weeks. She demits office in March at the end of her one term. It's sad. Sad, 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 sad. But nevertheless, I really didn't see where you were beneficial to Trinidad and Tobago, you know. You just collect taxpayers' money and you went home and that was it. That's how I see it. That is how I see it. So don't come out and say, well, you know, I didn't have time to accomplish this and accomplish that and accomplish the next. It had a time Trinidad and Tobago didn't even know if we had a president because it was so silent. You were so silent. But then again, after working all this time in the judiciary, you find, you know, you got a relaxing job, you just collect money and rock back. Anybody would have do the same thing. So viewers, as we move on with our program tonight, the recruitment of inspectors for the scrap metal industry has begun. The Trade and Industry Ministry has advised for 8 scrap metal inspectors to join a newly established scrap metal unit. The ministry said inspector will report to the Chief Trade Officer of the Trade License Unit, the TLU, and are required to visit and inspect scrap metal and scrap metal site and interact with dealers, stakeholders, and the public. They will also work with the Police, Customs and Excise Division, and Environmental Management Authority, and Municipal and Regional Corporation. The exercise comes as the government reopened scrap metal industry on Friday after the partial proclamation of Scrap Metal Act 2022. You know what we're waiting on, Paula? We're waiting on the license to export. That is what we are waiting on. But I guess some people in authority don't have common sense. I open a grocery, but I don't have a fridge to sell sweet drink. I don't have a fridge to sell soft drink. I don't have a fridge to put butter, cheese, bacon, sausage. What the hell are opening? What the hell are opening? I want to work taxi. I have a cab, I don't have a taxi badge. I work in private. Back to front again, like I said, it's Trinidad, we third world. No wonder why we remain in third world and we can't come forward. Because we are sometimes a lackadaisical people. Who vexed for me saying that hard luck, you know? But let me tell you something. We have too much resources in Trinidad. We have too much know-how to do it in Trinidad to be lackadaisical. That is what we have in Trinidad. Too much know-how to do it, but yet we're quite down in the gutter. We're down in the gutter. We rather stay down than go up. Hey, talking about staying down and going up. Hear this. Today, let me tell you something. Today I get really, really mad today. Eh? And today I visited a family. Now listen closely. Listen closely. If you're in the kitchen, make sure you close the television. Let me tell you something. Human beings, and I will say this boldly, without apologizing. Human beings are pests on the face of the earth. Hear why I say this. Today I visited a family, and listen carefully, eh? Listen carefully. Today I was upset after I leave this family home. I went, visit this family. Now this young girl, listen good and having, this young girl went by her family and her aunt and her uncle. The aunt and the uncle find something wrong with the girl, right? So the aunt and the uncle called me and said, Saieed, we need you to come down by us. There's something that we need you to check for us. Well, I didn't do spiritual reading. So I went down by the uncle and I sit down. He said, Saieed, I'm bringing out a girl for you. I want you to check this girl for me. I said, okay, no problem. I go down with my happy, jolly self, you know. Say, nice, God bless, man, nice, healthy day. I'm feeling vibrant this morning. Say, Lord, thank you. Even though I'm tired. And I went down by this family, and I saw this pretty girl. Pretty. But nothing waiting happened to the girl. The girl wants to get married. She have her boyfriend. But the parents don't want the girl to marry the boy. They don't want the girl to marry the boy. So I sit down. The aunt and the uncle tell me nothing, you know. She says, Saieed, you do your thing. Because the aunt and the uncle, they just come by me when they want X, Y, and Z. Right? So they accustomed coming, the family from abroad fly down, they do what they had to do, they get through business-wise, whatever. I do in spirit work, you know. You understand? So I sit down now, when I sit down and I watch this girl, I say, baby, I say, why are you crying in your heart? She watch me. But the girl know me. I said, baby, why are you crying in your heart? And when she makes herself comfortable on the couch, tears start to run down the girl's eye. I turn to the uncle and aunt. I say, hey, y'all know what this girl going through? They say, Saieed, that's why we call you. What going on? I say, hear this now. Let me tell you something now. Watch me. I gone from coldness of a fridge. When cold melting in the US and you run around, I feeling cold. I gone from 10 cold jacket on to red hot in about less than 30 seconds. I said, this girl wants to marry. But the family keeping she down. The family don't want the woman to marry the man. Just so I bust it out on them. They say, Saieed, what? I say, here we're going on. Here we're going on. This girl wants to marry. She crying and she hurts. But the family don't want you to marry the boy. I say, serious? Uncle says, serious? I say, yes. I said, have I ever lied to all you? I deal with the people in my world years now. I said, have I ever lied to you? They said, no. I said, everything will come on for you again. They said, yes, Saieed. Well, here we're going on. We're going to deal with that. I said, no. I said, no. I said, leave it there. I said, leave it there right now. I turned to the girl, one pretty girl, you know, mature. I said, baby. I said, trust me? She said, yes, Saieed. I said, have a little faith in me. That's all I tell she. And I told her, and I said in the air, I said, Allah anta rahama sulge barida inna. I said, your time will come where you will get married and you will leave your house and you will live comfortable after. I said, trust me. She said, Saieed, my aunt and my uncle trust you, and to help my God, I will trust you. I said, thank you. That's all I want you to do for me. I said, just trust me. I'm going to tell you something. Out there are some parents, they stink like rotten gobar, you know. All I feel is joke. I tell watchman, I'm a spirit started eating me up when I went by that home, you know. They started eating me up. We as human beings, we stink like that. I'm here afraid to say it. We stink like that. All I feel Ganda egg stink, we surpass that. That's the kind of stink people have down here. I watch the girl, and I watch the girl. In my mind, I'm saying, Lord, you give me a gift to help people. And I say today, I need your help in setting this captive free. Yea, do I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I, Saieed, will fear no evil. That is why I just come here. Without fear. Stink. You can tell me your daughter wants to marry and go and live comfortable and you holding back? Who is you look at it? The same thing the daughter get, you should have get. But nevertheless, there's a saying that the police service is using in Trinidad and Tobago. Monday for the bandit, Tuesday for the police. Yeah? One day for you, one day for me. I say, baby girl, have a little patience with me. Hey, boy, watch me. It has stink parents outside here, you know. Stink, stink, stink. So we're going back to our topic. Whoever garden that fallen, boy, let me tell you something. As a different, all I watching me here trying to be, as a different kind of human being, you know. I am a different kind of human being, you know. So the Ministry of Trade wants inspectors to inspect scrapyard. They will be dealing with the police, Custom and Excise Division, Environmental Management Authority, and the Municipal and Regional Corporation. This exercise comes as the government reopened the scrap metal industry on Friday after the partial proclamation of the Scrap Metal Act. Now, the ministry said the TLU was ready to work with the dealers who now have to apply for license. As of Friday, the unit had received 21 consent to entry forms and 6 applications for export license were being processed. We need export license. We go buy scrap and we go make junk heap in Trinidad. We need export license. However, the Anti-Scrap Iron Dealers Association President Alan Ferguson stated that while he welcomed the reopening of the scrap industry, he is concerned about delay in receiving license. It's a sad thing. It's a sad thing. Moving along. Oh, we forgot we break, boy. Like I lost track of time there. That family caught my head there, you know. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break. But when we come back, we're going to talk about COP target reduction in murder by June when we return.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtalk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Realtalk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
Realtalk Credit Union information stores are now open to members of the public. We are located at the Realtalk Group of Companies building at number 14 Carney Savannah Main Road. Opening hours are from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us via telephone at 238-6716 or 231-6219 to book your appointment. You can also stay connected with us via Facebook. Do you have a public concern you would like to highlight? You can email your pictures and videos to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com, and we will highlight your concerns on our show for Public Concerns Wednesday.
Welcome back to Real Talk, viewers. As Trinidad and Tobago murder rate continues to spiral following a bloody start to 2023, in which over 100 persons have already met their demise, Police Commissioner Earl Haywood Christopher is promising an end in bloodshed. Hey, Trinidad and Tobago, our new commissioner is promising an end in bloodshed. The woman have no idea on how to do groundwork. According to our Prime Minister, she have no crime fighting skills. So how she promising Trinidad and Tobago to end bloodshed? Well, let's tell me something now. Let me tell you something. Words with A. You see when you have a mouth and you have a tongue in your head, you could say anything and get away with it. Anything. Christopher made a comment during the second session of a joint select committee called To Again and Understand of the anti-crime strategies being utilized by the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service to address criminal activity in TNT. So you have no crime fighting skills. You have no plan. You have nothing. That's according to our Prime Minister. I say after we Prime Minister. Too bad she didn't have no expertise in crime fighting skills. On the field. We're bandit living in the sky? No. We need crime fighting expertise on the field, not in the sky. It's a heck of a thing, you know, it's a heck of a thing. Now, however, the top cop said that she expect to see a change in the number or in the murder rate short term by June and long term by December. Listen to this.
What's your timeline, and what sort of timeline do you have in mind for these strategies to start producing results? Because at the rate we're going, if we continue along that trajectory, we could be looking at, maybe 1,000 before the end of the year. And I don't want to say, I'm certainly hoping that that's not the direction we're going. So give us a timeline. What is the short, medium, long-term projection that you have?
We will expect to see a change in the murder rate short term by June and long term by December.
When I hear that, when I hear that, I start to laugh. I start to laugh. Hey, what, Christopher? Appearance was her first appearance since becoming commissioner, and came weeks after she was criticized by JSC members for her no-show at the first session during the session. So during the session she attended to, they probably criticized her for not coming on the first one. So this is her first one. She also apologized for her absence. She said among the areas to be zeroed in to reduce crime rate was gang activity. So here it is. Gary Griffith tried to clamp down on crime, on gangs. Remember, he is versed. He have a lot of certificates in crime, criminal activities, security. He has backup. He have what we would say on the field training and expertise. We have a commissioner, according to the Prime Minister, no crime fighting on the field. So how this going to work out now? How this going to work out? You're going to hire Gary to be what? Maybe a subcontractor of a commissioner of police to deal with that? By June? We're going to start March from tomorrow. Christopher stated that the TTPS will be conducting exercise or extensive data mining on gangs, will target profile offenders, drug dealers, and other notorious persons. Listen to this.
With regards to dismantling of criminal gangs, we're going to conduct extensive data mining on gangs, including seizure, locations, criminal modus operandi, and the profiling of members and associates. We're going to be targeting the prolific offenders, the gang members with outstanding warrants, the drug dealers, and other notorious persons.
Listen closely. Gang members with outstanding warrants. So therefore, you know there's a member of a gang. What about the anti-gang legislation we have? How do you call that? Hammer on the nail head. You want to target gang members with outstanding warrants. You identified gang members. Gang members. Outstanding warrant. What happened to the anti-gang legislation amendment and bill? Is that in effect or not? I want to know. I want to know. So here it is. The police commissioner said she will be focusing on precision policing by using intelligent dismantling gangs, the seizure of firearms, eradication of drug blocks, and corruption, among many other issues. Listen to this.
What I'll be focusing on is precision policing using intelligence, prevention, proaction, and prosecution. So we'll be focusing, when I say precision policing of the powerful, because we just have a few persons in the country who are responsible for the criminal activities. I'll be focusing on dismantling gangs, the seizing of firearms, eradication of drug blocks, increasing the focus on transnational organized crime, leveraging the available technology to enhance police operations, enhancing police intelligence capability, building police legitimacy, increasing visible police presence, controlling the movements of our roadways and public places, increasing detection and the successful prosecution of violent offenders, increasing accountability and transparency, improving the management and supervision of police operations. We have a zero tolerance on police ill discipline and corruption. And of course, we'll be seeking to promote a positive imaging of this police service.
You see me, Trinidad and Tobago, you see all that statement she made, I will just laugh. I will just laugh. You know why? No crime fighting expertise on the field. Gary Griffith, who had all the expertise on the field, made a dent. Made a dent. Crime rate went down. Kidnapping went down. Murder went down. Larceny went down. What do you expect from this one who have no experience? You make it to the commissioner. All well and good. You have the book sense. You have the paper sense. But what we need is somebody with the ground sense. Somebody who knows the streets. Somebody who knows the ground. Somebody who have the know-how. We don't need book and pen. That is fixing nothing. I have A's, I have distinction. I speak 6 different languages. Did it help me? Yes, it helped me. It helped me got to a position. But what about the groundwork? What about the groundwork? We need somebody on the ground. Minister in the office of the Prime Minister, Ayanna Webster Roy, has called on all hands on deck in the fight against crime as she responded to an opposition motion chiding the government's handling of crime in the House of Representatives. Roy Webster, or Webster Roy, anyhow you want to put it, stated that by bringing about a crime-free TNT requires an all-of-society approach and stress on how important it is for key institutions to recognize the role that we would have to play. Listen to Webster.
I want to reiterate a point that I've been making ever since I've been a member of this honorable House. And that, Madam Speaker, is the fact that bringing about a crime-free Trinidad and Tobago, ensuring that we have a peaceful society, requires an all-of-society approach. It requires all hands on deck. It requires every citizen, every man, every woman, every boy, and every girl in Trinidad and Tobago recognizing that he or she has a role to play and actively engaging in various processes to bring about this peaceful society that is required. Madam Speaker, I also want to stress how important it is for key institutions in this society to recognize the role that they would have to play to bring about a peaceful Trinidad and Tobago.
Why they didn't put back somebody like Gary Griffith there? You want to talk peace? You want to talk about all of Trinidad and Tobago? You should have choose Gary Griffith. The House of Representatives, the Parliament, suppose the President, the Prime Minister, they were supposed to say, you know what? Christopher, you lack experience in the field of crime fighting. But yet you became a commissioner of police. How the hell did that happen? Somebody with all the expertise in the field, what did they do? You walk over. But Webster now want to come and talk about all of Trinidad and Tobago citizens, man, woman, and child. We want your help? Who help you want? She said there is also a role for the religious organization to reevaluate the message that they communicate and say to vulnerable men and women who come to them for guidance. Listen to this, listen to this, listen to this, Trinidad and Tobago. We got to talk after this video.
There's a role for the judiciary. The judiciary must ensure that the wheels of justice turn swiftly and surely so that persons do not become disenchanted, disillusioned. Madam Speaker, there's a role for the media to ensure that there is fair and responsible reporting on issues of crime and violence in Trinidad and Tobago. Madam Speaker, there is indeed a role for the religious bodies and organizations in Trinidad and Tobago to reevaluate the messages that we communicate to our flock, that we reevaluate what we say to vulnerable men and women who come for guidance within the churches, the mandiris, the mosques. There's a role for every single institution.
The pastors, the imam, the pundits, the religious leaders, what do they say to their flocks? When vulnerable individuals go up to them, stay away from crime, do your good deeds. What else should the religious leaders say? What else? You tell me, Webster Roy, what else? You think a pastor will say, well, go and rob your neighbor? You think a pundit will say, well, go down and bust the head and take money and come do your prayers? Come now, man, all that talking nonsense. Tata, nonsense, no good, rubbish. You waste your 10 minutes on that briefing. That is what you did. You're supposed to come out and say, you know what? The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service needs to pull their act together. Rogue officers must be out of TTPS, not suspend them with half pay and they're going home. But you want to talk about religious leader? Hey, take your time. Go through your script. Watch back that video and see what you just said to Trinidad and Tobago. The religious bodies need to check themselves. Check what? You better check what you're saying. You made the wrong statement on TV concerning religious leaders. All they know about is God. The pastor know about God, preaching to their flock. The pundits know about God. When they go back to the guitar, they will give them the history. The imam, the pundit, the priest, the Roman Catholic, the Baptist, the Shango, whatever it is, the leaders only talk about God in their service. What you think they're talking? You think they're encouraging the crime, the flocks and them to go and rob? No, Roy Webster, no. You made a wrong statement on TV and you let down yourself. It's sad, it's sad, it's sad. Hear this. Webster Roy also stated that on the issue of gender-based violence, there was no shame in asking for help, as her ministry had reached out to international bodies for assistance. What happened to the one we have right here? 1.4 million people, and you gonna tell me gender-based violence not effective? Listen to this video.
Madam Speaker, domestic violence in any form has serious consequences for all of us in this country. It leads to negative health outcomes, depression, alcohol and substance abuse, high-risk sexual behaviors. It can lead to negative consequences for victims and their families and their communities. We have seen how abuse and violence against women and girls are passed from generation to generation. It becomes a vicious cycle, a cycle that we are working to break, Madam Speaker. But as the Minister responsible for Gender and Child Affairs, Madam Speaker, I often say when it comes to addressing the issue of gender-based violence and domestic violence, that you have to ensure that your shame bag bursts, that you don't have any shame in asking for help. And this government would have been reaching out to the civil society organizations to partner with us and receiving the help and support. When it comes to reaching out to international agencies to partner with us, to help us to put best practice in place to address situations around gender-based violence, we have been doing that, Madam Speaker.
You see, Webster, right? Whole speech, I listened attentively and I laughed after her speech. You know why? When you're in a podium and you have a script in front of you, you could say anything and get away with it. Anything. You see production? You see production? You see getting the job done? That is something. Getting the job done is where your work speaks for itself. Hence the reason why Real Talk with Saieed Ali remain the #1 current affairs program in Trinidad and Tobago. You know why? Because when I come here and I tell you, hey, we need this, we need that, we need that, you all, Trinidad and Tobago, have become witness of what Real Talk with Saieed Ali does do for the citizens of our country. You all have been witness. So we're going for a short commercial break, viewers. But when we come back, we're going to talk about the UNC parliamentarian on 2020 trafficking in persons report after this break.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Real Talk Report Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Real Talk Report Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road.
Credit union information stores are now open to members of the public. We are located at the Real Talk Group of Companies building at number 14 Crony Savannah Main Road. Opening hours are from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us via telephone at 238-6716 or 231-6219 to book your appointment. You can also stay connected with us via Facebook. Do you have a public concern you would like to highlight? You can email your pictures and videos to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com and we will highlight your concerns on our show for Public Concerns Wednesday.
Welcome back to Real Talk, viewers. So we're going to talk about human trafficking now. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley have stated that investigations into allegation in a 2020 U.S. trafficking in person report that senior government officials who were involved in human trafficking have revealed that the reference was to current parliamentarians who aren't on the side of the government. Dr. Rowley stated that the government continued to work with the U.S. government on improving its rating in the report, and the U.S. is assisting in hiring specific consultants to assist. He said, one of the biggest issues currently is the lack of conviction, which isn't under government control, but noted that they continue to give resources to the judiciary and TTPS to assist with this. Listen to this, viewers.
The government of Trinidad and Tobago continues to actively work with the government of the United States on improving its ratings on the United States trafficking in persons report. And in fact, the United States is helping in the hiring of specific consultants to assist. One of the biggest issues currently is the lack of convictions, which is not under the government's control. The government continues to provide resources to the judiciary, the DPP, and the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service to assist in this regard.
Now, viewers, however, the PM stated that when his government heard of the allegation and investigated, it was discovered that it was referring to the current members of parliament, none of which is on the side of the present government. Ooh, listen to this.
Madam Speaker, we did hear that allegation, and when we investigated it, we discovered it was referring to current members of parliament, none of which is on the government side. So my colleague might be able to help me in finding out who they were talking about.
Prime Minister, we just lost the end of your response.
Yes, I was saying, Madam Speaker, that we did hear that statement and we investigated and discovered that they were not talking about people on the government side. And therefore I was saying that maybe the member could help us to identify who exactly these assertions were aimed at.
Imagine that. Now listen to this. However, in responding, Dr. Keith Rowley said action against people who commit crime is a matter for the police. Listen to this part.
Madam Speaker, we did hear that.
Minister, for the obfuscation, but why has no action been taken, whichever side it came from?
Prime Minister.
Madam Speaker, action against persons who commit crime is a matter for the police. If the member is calling on the police to investigate his colleague, then he doesn't need me to get involved in that.
Member for Naparima.
Aware that under the Constitution, the government is responsible for overall control and policy of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service.
Prime Minister.
Madam Speaker, that might be so, but the government, and by the government I mean the cabinet and the executive, has no role in determining who is prosecuted. That is a matter for the police. And the member knows that. So if he wants to go after his colleague, let him do so without trying to get the government involved. If that allegation has substance by evidence, that's a police matter. And if the member is so excited to go after his colleague, let him go so alone. He cannot invite the government into that. The government does not determine who the police go after or who the police arrest for any crime, not the least of which human trafficking and the running of brothels.
So, here bacchanal? Here bacchanal? So listen to this. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has taken aim at opposition leader Kamala Persad-Bissessar for her silence on remarks made by former member of her People Partnership Administration about allegation that UNC members are involved in human trafficking. In a Facebook post, Dr. Rowley opened with the word pathetic. Before nothing, Persad Bissessa had not responded for former PP Minister Devant Maharaj, who supported a PP allusion that senior government minister referred to in a 2020 U.S. report on human trafficking were UNC MPs. Maharaj said he was one of several senior UNC officials who investigated allegations of human trafficking during 2010 to 2015 during the PP's term, and that the allegations were weren't true and correct. He claims UNC officials provided a regular supply of Venezuelan and Colombian prostitutes to persons with and without the party. The PM, in his post, also accused Prasad Bissessa of slander over past claims of PNM officials being linked to several reports of abuse in children's homes. Let me tell you something. You see, human trafficking in Trinidad and Tobago, who brings in these individuals? How do they get clearance? Where is TTPS? Where is Coast Guard? Where is the monitor? Who monitors the borders? Do we have surveillance monitors? Where is the Coast? The Coast Guard is supposed to have satellite image and satellite surveillance of Trinidad and Tobago right around. Is it active in Trinidad and Tobago? Can they spot a vessel coming in 2 o'clock in the morning and summon a Coast Guard vessel to go out and investigate that vessel? Is that operational? Is that operational? Come on, Trinidad and Tobago. So actually, we don't know who bring in the people. We don't know. But Faraz Al-Rawi, when he was the Attorney General, he had names of boats, names of apartment owner, the vehicle that transported it. He had information. Where did it go up to now? Did anybody get charged? Did anybody came forward? Big no. Nope. Now, here it is. Puch West MP Dr. Rudal Munilal have stated that he is not aware of any investigation into government officials being involved in human trafficking while the UNC was in power between 2010 and 2015, contrary to a statement made by former UNC Minister Devant Maharaj. He stated that this practice was followed when he was housing minister and reports were made of persons fraudulently accepting money for homes. Munilal stated, and Munilal said statements made by Devant or Mr. Maharaj that he was offered the service of Venezuelan and Colombian prostitutes were attempts to trivialize human trafficking, which was a transitional international criminal enterprise. He added that the government has to say what it has been doing about the recommendation made in that report. The Counter-Trafficking Unit and the National Action Task Force. Munilal called on the police service to say if there was any ongoing investigation into government officials being involved in human trafficking. Now, what TTPS need to do, what the intelligence unit in Trinidad and Tobago needs to do is to come forward in a media briefing and say, well, you know, there were 10 MPs from UNC or there were 3 MPs from PNM involved in an ongoing investigation concerning human trafficking. Would we get that from TTPS? Would we? To clear up what Devant is saying, to clear up what Munilal is saying, to clear up what Kamala is saying, to clear up what Prime Minister is saying. PNM Prime Minister, could we get that clearance? Could we get that from TTPS? Stating that a minister from UNC or a minister from PNM were involved in an ongoing investigation into human trafficking. Could we get that cleared up by TTPS? Which officer is brave enough to come forward and say, well, hey, you know, well, so-and-so was involved in it? Do we have that? You see, what we need, people, is clarity. We don't just need mouth, you know. We need clarification. That is what we need. So, viewers, we are out of time for tonight. How many minutes? About 2 minutes? A minute? We are out of time for tonight, viewers. But let me tell you something. Human trafficking is a real thing in Trinidad and Tobago. Eh? It is a real thing. Trust me. Believe what I'm telling you. This close off my show for tonight. So, viewers, remember, I'm Saieed Ali. You are viewing the #1 current affairs program in Trinidad and Tobago presently. We have our live show from 7 to 8 p.m. Monday to Friday. We have our rerun the next day from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Remember, I'm a licensed money lender. You're looking for cash borrow, it's not a problem. It's not a problem, viewers. Remember, those of you who are looking for 4% on a fixed deposit, contact Realtalk Group. Just drop the numbers one more time before we close off. So the numbers for Realtalk Group viewers, you can contact us. The numbers are on screen: 339-1670, 242-7690, 238-6716, and 267-7325. So viewers, this is our number. Contact us. You want 4% on a fixed deposit for 5 years? Not a problem. You could get that. Remember, Realtalk credit union information. You want to open an account for your kids? Not a problem. Come in. We'll sit, we'll have a discussion, you'll know the recommendation, and we're going forward from there. Until we meet again, ala anta bakina lazar kida anta. So parents out there, allow your sons and your daughters to make choices of their own and don't try to control their life because you had yours. It doesn't matter how hard or how easy you had yours, allow your children to make their choices in life. Good night.